Hello to those of you who are here with us on the live. This is recorded live on Facebook, and then I transfer that to the YouTube. So that explains why the streaming isn't always the best. Sometimes it's a little choppy. Sometimes my light is coming in and out of that window up there and changing the lighting. So this is not perfect, but I hope that it is good and gives you some information that you need. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Pilates today because we are doing a little bit more learning as well as doing today. Don't worry, I'm not going to talk the whole time. But what I will welcome you to do is try this out if you've never tried it before. I'm going to use a couple of different tools today. I'm going to use some focus tools, some alignment tools, and some just demonstration tools. So you can see some things, oops, behind me. Oh, I moved the wrong way again. This camera is trippy. Oh my God. I just gave myself a thumbs down. There! There's my stuff we're using today. Oh my goodness. I have a mat that's rolled up. It's actually a little back massager thing there, that blue thing, because it's a nice cylinder shape, and a lightweight ball. You do not need any of these things to do the workout today, but those are going to be my demonstration tools because they help with the visuals and they help with alignment and, well, you'll see. But that's what we're doing today. So a little bit more teachy today. But hopefully that will bring you to the place where you can maybe go and enjoy that zesty class that I have posted online, having had a little bit more depth of instruction on how the moves work, and giving you some options to either stand up or sit in a chair if lying on the mat isn't the best thing for you. Okay, settled into your chair, sitting nice and tall. And if you just notice in the back of your chair, I want you to leave a little bit of space. Don't lean in or sit into your chair, but sit up tall on your sitting bones, okay? We're gonna roll the shoulders back and just start getting some circulation going in the body. And I'm actually leaving my top on, my other extra layer, until we get a little bit more warmed up, and then I'll make sure that I have my nice bright pink top so you can see what's happening. All right, shoulders are drawing up, back and down, up, back and down, up, back and down, reaching those arms to the floor and really reach. I want you to reach out of those shoulder joints and then spin the thumbs up and down. Spinning the thumbs up and down, up and down. Good. So we are working through the shoulder rotators. If you are seated on the floor instead of in a chair, you may not have room to do this. Arms coming around and back. All right. Oh, my hands are going out of view on the top, but you know that they're still there. Rolling those shoulders back. So feel that movement right now in the chest and the shoulder blades as you just let those arms go in big circles. All right. If you are having a clearance issue, just put your thumbs on your shoulders and do that circle this way. Let's go the other direction. I'll continue with this version. But if you have room, please extend those arms and make this as big as you can. So you're now circling the other direction. Okay, I'll open it up. It feels good. And just observe. The chest is rising and falling. The rib cage is shifting and the shoulder blades are moving as you wind those shoulders. Very good. Let's take that down. We're just going to rotate now from the waist. So just turning side to side. Now I've got the chair back in my way, so I'm keeping my elbows up so that I can turn All right, and again, just observing what's happening. As you twist from side to side, you may notice that your sitting bones shift in the chair. So in effect, your knees are coming forward and back a little bit like a piston. You can't really see it from this angle. Let me turn to the side so you can see what I'm talking about here. So as you twist side to side, this knee comes forward and then the other knee comes forward. So we're actually twisting and we're actually moving a little bit on our foundation. And I'm pointing this out now because when we go into the roll up and the spine stretch, we want to make sure that that's not happening, that we're actually controlling that. But for our warm up, we're just observing and allowing the body to move in that way. Let's do a rounding down of the back. I'm just reaching for the toes. So if you're on the floor, you can just do a reach forward and then just breathe into your back. Turning sideways for this one. And just breathing into your back. So your feet are flat on the floor. And then notice that you can breathe pretty well with that back nice and open. And then it rises yourself just off your lap a little bit as you inhale. And then as you exhale, you sink down a little bit. And we're going to roll up from there. All right. Excellent. So feeling a little bit more limber with just a little bit of limbering activity there. We haven't gone into a full-on warm-up, but I think that's just enough to get us started on some of these key tips for today. Okay, so you're seated at the edge of your chair somewhat. I want you to move forward. So I have about a fist distance between my back and the back of the chair. And I'm seated on my sitting bones. So we're going to work on a roll down first. So this would be the alternative to a roll up if we were laying on the mat. I'm going to show you that exercise once I finish showing you all these little techniques. So for the roll in Pilates, we want to start with the chin nod and then slowly round each part of the back, reaching down. We want to maintain our strong core, and then we want to roll up, each vertebra coming up one at a time. To that, we're going to add the breath. We're going to inhale and lengthen. The back of the neck is long, the chin is tucked in slightly. As you exhale, the chin begins, but not too much. Keep that space. Then the upper back, the middle back, the lower back, and we're squeezing in through the belly. We're inhaling here into that open back, and then we're exhaling, tucking first the tailbone, lower back, middle back, upper back, and finally the head comes back to neutral. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. All right, so a little bit of instruction and tips coming up here. I've got this cylindrical, it's a back massager that I'm just going to use as a focus tool. So that means as a visual aid to tell you what's happening in the body or the thoughts that are going to help you pull yourself into the correct positioning. So imagine this cylinder being stuck right into the hips. And as you roll, that presses into the body. So we're going to see if this works. It might roll off my lap, but let's see. I think I've got it wedged in there, okay, at the moment. All right, and I'm going to lift my heels just a little bit so that I can actually keep that in there for a minute. This is a visual tool, so don't feel like you have to have this. I just want you to understand what's happening in the body by using this particular visual tool. So we're going to inhale, lengthen. We're going to tuck. The first part's easy. Now I'm getting down to that cylinder and I'm really hollowing out the hips and the lower belly. Rounding over that cylinder. Inhaling there into the back. Keeping that push into the cylinder. The cylinder is still pushing into the body. And then exhaling and rounding up. Okay, now it's restricting my movement, my range of motion a little bit, but that feeling of pushing in through the hips and the lower belly in that cylindrical fashion as though something is sitting there is the key element. So let's try it again from seated with that thought of having that cylinder there. So inhaling and lengthening. Exhale. The cylinder is pushing in all the way across the hips and the belly. Keep that hollowed out feeling as you breathe into your back. Keep that hollowed out feeling through the hips and the belly. And then stacking that spine as you inhale at the top. And release. All right, let's take this one to the floor and do 6 repetitions of the roll-up with those thoughts in mind. If you'd rather stay in the chair, stay right in the chair, just as you've been doing. All right? Keeping the idea of that cylinder across the hips, helping to hollow out as you come up. The difference here, the arms will be coming overhead as well. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull in the pelvic floor, the powerhouse, the navel, the rib cage, and the sternum is heavy. As you inhale once again, your arms rise up. Exhaling for the roll up. Hollow out that spot in the lower belly and the hips. Inhale. Keep hollowing out that spot. Inhale as the arms come overhead. You're coming down 97% of the way. Don't relax. Exhale. Number 2. The breath really helps. Exhale through your teeth. Inhale into that open back. Exhale. And inhale. If you get stuck, just breathe wherever you get to. Inhale. Hollow, 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 round, 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 cylinder, strong, strong, strong. Inhale. I believe this is the last one. We'll do one more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And release. We're going to move on now to the spine stretch and work into that one a little bit more deeply with some of the focus tools. So we're going to do, again, we're going to think of the same idea with this cylinder being across the hips, helping us to guide our scoop, that lower belly scoop. In the seated spine stretch, sometimes the sitting part is the most challenging. So this rolled up mat, or anything that can give you a little bit of height to sit on, is a really good alignment tool. So this is more of an alignment tool than a visual tool, and you may physically need to use one of these or something similar. You could sit on a firm pillow, a rolled up blanket or towel, anything that will fit just under your hip bones, under your sitting bones, when you're seated on the mat. So I'll show you how this helps with the alignment. Oftentimes, it's hard for people to sit straight up in this way, and we tend to sit rounded For some reason, men seem to have an even harder time with this particular flexibility than women. I'm not trying to be sexist, that just seems to be a trend. I'm going to move this chair so you can see a little better. All right, so we're looking at trying to get this nice straight position. If that is not possible for you because of flexibility, then this is where this bolster comes in. By just lifting your sitting bones up onto a bolster, even by a couple of inches, you'll notice that it's a lot more comfortable to sit with a straight spine. Okay? We're going to take this to the chair as well, and in fact, if you are following along and prefer to use a chair, just go ahead and follow now everything we're doing, but seated in the chair. Everything else is going to be exactly the same. We just want to make sure that the spine is now behaving the way we want to for the spine stretch. So we're going to start with the arms up this way, and I'll show you the spine stretch. Inhaling and lengthening. You can do it along with me if you like, or you can just watch. Exhaling, thinking of that cylinder pushing into the lower belly, and then the middle back, upper back, and head and neck follow. We breathe into the back, and then we exhale up. We inhale tall, lengthening. Showing you one more. Exhaling, we're going to think of that cylinder pushing in at the bottom first. Tailbone rounds, pushing, pushing, pushing. Inhale into the back, scooping, scooping, scooping that cylinder in. Exhaling up. Inhale tall. And release. Okay? You've got that cylinder idea happening in that lower belly. Now let's do a little bit of alignment with, I've got a ball that has a nice space so that when I'm using this as a spacer, it's giving me something to focus on and something to keep my arms active. So that's the next thing that we're going to add, is this alignment tool of something to hold between the hands. If you do not have one, just fake it. You could use a very light weight for this. You could use a stick, a scarf, anything that you can just help space your arms out with. We're doing a couple more of these spine stretches. Inhale. Exhale, thinking of that cylinder, rounding through the bottom of the body, rounding the back, opening out. Inhale into the open back. Exhale. Scoop, 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 until we reach the tall spine. Inhale. Notice the ball doesn't lean forward or back. It travels very slightly downward, like the New Year's Eve ball. It's just a ball drop. Inhale. The ball rises up. Exhale. I cued that incorrectly. Inhale here and hold. Exhale up. Inhale here. And release. Okay? So just going to move that into the chair just for visual purposes for those who are using the chair today, and give you that same exercise. All right? Sit really far forward in that chair. Give yourself a hand width between your back and the chair so that you have lots of space to move. That ball as a focus tool comes here. Inhale, lengthen. Think of scooping with that cylinder sitting on your lap. Tailbone moves first. Rounding and scooping through the lower belly. The back reaching towards that chair. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. The other interesting observation for this is that the shoulders stay hovering right over the hips. You're just basically folding your belly and your back out of the way. Another good image for this is a Roman blind. Folding out of the way. So folding up like a Roman blind, rounding, inhaling, scoop, scoop, scoop that cylinder, exhaling up, inhaling tall. Exhale, rounding down. There we go, that's perfect, because I want to feel my seat just barely touching that wall, and then inhale, and then exhale up. And stacking. I'm going to come turn to the side so you can see what's happening. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, head and shoulders, upper back, middle back, scooping through the belly, scoop, 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 scoop. Inhale wherever you get to. Scooping through the belly and exhaling up. Now it is the strength that you continue to press into that body that is helping you with this roll up, and that is the key to doing it with good form. I am a very bendy person. I can bend and touch my toes right now, but that's not Pilates. We're trying to do Pilates here. So instead of allowing myself to bend and hinge and flop, I'm using a lot of control here to reach down and stay supported. So let's try one more time with that in mind. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tuck the chin, the upper back, the middle back. Here comes the transverse abdominis. Tuck in over that cylinder. Remember that cylinder visual. Inhaling here, keeping that cylinder pulled in tight. Exhale up, stacking from the tailbone to the middle back, shoulders, and head. Nice and tall. If you are doing this in front of the wall, as you come into this position, you'll see that the hips shoot back just a little bit to counterbalance so you don't fall down, and the wall is there to help support you at that point. So hopefully these tips were helpful today. We managed to talk about that C shape and scoop a lot, and just practice articulating that spine and coordinating the breath. I hope it was helpful. If you wish a little bit more of a vigorous workout to then practice some of those things that we just looked at, please go ahead and find the Zesty Pilates workout or the Pilates demo that I have already posted on YouTube. Both of those workouts are already posted, and will give you a little bit more activity today as opposed to just the instruction. So I think I covered everything I wanted to cover today, and I want to say thank you for joining me if you have been doing that on YouTube or on Facebook Live. Either way, I say thank you very much. If you are on Facebook Live, hang out for just a second and I will come and address any questions you might have. But if you are joining me on YouTube or watching this in a replay, then just know I say goodbye and have a great day, and I'll see you next time.